Hello, I'm Gary Tinterow, Director of the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. With our latest acquisition, Delacroix's Women of Algiers, we're especially excited to acquire this painting because it's essentially been lost to the world of Delacroix scholarship for 170 years. Of course, the people who owned it always knew where it was, but no one else did. It's not been included in the modern literature on this artist, his work, the development of his important themes and iconic imagery. And it happens to relate to one of his most famous paintings, which is at the Louvre. It's called the Women of Algiers. It's a much larger painting with 4 figures. But what this painting does is give us insight into Delacroix's working method and his thought process in creating some of his most important pictures. The last time this painting was sort of publicly displayed was in 1850. We know from annotated auction catalogs that another private collector bought the painting, but we never had an image to associate with that unillustrated catalog in 1850. Only recently did the current owner of the painting recognize, thanks to the great exhibition of Delacroix's work that was held at the Louvre, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I have a painting that looks like the famous painting at the Louvre. I wonder if mine is authentic or is it a copy by another artist, which it could well have been. How do we know that this painting is the one sold in 1850? Because it was lot number 118 in the sale, and stenciled on the back of this picture is the number 118. I had been skeptical and dubious as to whether it's still possible to discover an important Delacroix so many years after the fact, a work that had not been previously recorded. As soon as I walked into the gallery, I recognized this is a perfectly authentic painting in exceptional state of preservation with all the hallmarks of Delacroix's work. What are those hallmarks? Things like having these little carmine red lines between the fingers that suggest the blood coursing underneath, or the peculiar to Delacroix color combination of having these bright notes of color in an otherwise somber background. And also the nervous line of all these contours that Delacroix observed with Michelangelo and in Rubens, he brings to his work at this time. Many of you who've been to the Louvre will know the famous painting, The Women of Algiers of 1834. He used the same watercolor studies both for this painting and for the larger painting. And what I find particularly fascinating and intriguing is the fact that in the larger composition, the woman seated here has a knee with the same parrot turquoise color. He's decided, okay, I still need that blue. And so he turned her knee into that blue pillow, or he turned the blue pillow into her knee. So it doesn't matter whether it's a pile of fabric, a cushion, or a woman's knee, it had to be blue.